Hey everybody, before I get to the food that I'm going to show you today, I thought I'd tell you about this supermarket on the west side of town. It's at the west end of Chinatown on Spring Mountain Rainbow. It's called Greenland Supermarket. This is a Korean supermarket that's fairly large. I love this market because it's big and it's clean and they have a variety of things inside. This supermarket is very popular for people who want something a little bit more, some variety in their shopping. They have a food court on the inside with several restaurants. You can dine in or take the food to go. In addition, they have some small shops on the outside. They sell cosmetics, clothing, some face masks, and many other miscellaneous items. They also have an outlet for a bakery. If you've never tried Korean bakery, you ought to try it. The bread is really different, very soft, and it's kind of a really good treat. I like this supermarket because everything is pretty clean and packaged well. They have a wide variety of international foods, seafood, and Asian products that you probably wouldn't find at Ranch 99 or other Asian markets here in Las Vegas. They have very conveniently packaged foods that are ready to cook, ready for the fryer or deep fryer or oven, and food that are already prepared and ready to eat. Just in case you've never been to Greenland Supermarket, I thought I'd give you a peek inside. Just like the restaurant that I just recently ate at, this place is very little known. Well, it used to be. It's called Gyeongbang. It's kind of hard to make out because the English letters are pretty small. And it's very inconspicuous, and this is what it looks like when you're looking at it from far away. It's almost unnoticeable. Check the description below for the information on the restaurant. The restaurant itself is not very big, but they specialize in these huge meat platters. I came a couple times about a year and a half ago, so I returned to see what it was like now. The menu seemed relatively unchanged except for that the prices are up a few dollars, as it is everywhere else. This place has a variety of meats and it's served with all these sides that are used to make the wraps. If you've had Korean barbecue before, these are pretty similar to Korean barbecue, but all these sides and these condiments or add-ons help make these delicious wraps if you know how to incorporate them into making these wraps. Unless you're familiar with the Korean cuisine, you might be unfamiliar with a lot of the items. You'll have to do some research so you'll know what to order. They have marinated meats here, and they specialize in meat platters, and they have a lot of other small items and individual items, but these giant meat combo platters is what I came for. They range from about $35 to $50, and sometimes a little bit more depending on the size that you choose. And I will caution you to be careful when you're ordering to always ask the spice level. The meat platters here are served with lettuce wraps for you to wrap the meats in along with the side dishes. The lettuce wraps can be leafy green lettuce, or it can be a Napa cabbage, slightly salted Napa cabbage, pickled Napa cabbage, pickled radish slices. But the general idea is to put the meat into these lettuce or cabbage wraps, and you add your little condiments. My favorite is the pickled radish and jalapeno in a light soy sauce, slightly sweet and a little tart. As far as the meats go, you can order your marinated short ribs like the kalbi in the Korean barbecue. They have pig trotters here, which are actually really tender, and they have a little gelatinous covering. Or you can get pork belly, which is one of my favorites. But there is no general formula for eating this, but the basic concept is to wrap the meat along with these contrasting little sides and eat it the way you like. You can experiment with all the different kind of combinations you can think of. I've even added 2 types of meat into one wrap. The most flavor explosive item for these wraps is garlic with ssamjang. Ssamjang is fermented soybean and chili paste, slightly sweet, slightly spicy with a rich flavor. Or rather a nutty fragrance that's a little bit salty. It contrasts and complements the meat really well in these wraps. And as I said before, there's no real general formula. You can eat it any way you like, but I'll give you some examples here. Have a look for yourself. Here's another item at this restaurant that really surprised me. This is the marinated steamed beef ribs. You can get a medium or large. It ranges from $38 to $53. These are similar to the beef short ribs that you get in the Korean barbecue, but they're a little bit thicker. They do have the sweet marinade, but they take that and they boil it in this big hot pot. It's very, very tender. Just fall off the bone. You can just bite through the leather on the back, the covering, the cartilage, everything. This is a really tasty dish, and it comes with carrots, eggs, bell peppers, and these thick chunks of radish. The meat is fall off the bone tender. Some people like to eat this with rice, or you can eat it plain. But this was really an awesome dish. It was really an enjoyable dish. The large size is good enough for 3 to 5 people depending on your appetites. This even included little rice cakes which act like little pasta strips. Really chewy, really fun texture as you're eating this. And remember, you have to always ask about the spice level because they can come out extremely spicy. So be careful when you order. Make sure you ask about the spice level for each item. This type of dish you can just eat with rice or just plain as is. Actually, you can do that with all the items, but then you have all these healthy leafy vegetables and all these sides that are good for you. You can just order smaller items and just eat it plain, just the meats with the rice, but the whole concept here are the wraps. And they do have some specialty soup items as well. Now, the pork belly in the Asian cuisine is really highly prized, especially the fat content. The pork belly here is steamed incredibly soft. It's so soft that in fact the fat is almost translucent. That's how soft it is. If you're not into pork belly or you're not too crazy about pork fat, you might not like this. But those of you who are familiar with pork belly that serve the Asian way, these are some of the most incredible slices of pork belly I've ever had. They go so well with the garlic and the fermented bean paste, the little briny shrimp that acts as salt. You can add the spicy radish or the pickled radish, wrap it in some kind of a leafy lettuce wrap, and then you'll have this rich, fatty pork belly contrasted with these amazing flavors. Some people generally are not that adventurous, but some people are very good at discovering new foods. If you discover this type of food, you will discover a whole new world. You gotta go think outside the box if you want to discover these new and fascinating flavors. Sometimes it's not enough to just make a run for the border to Taco Bell. You gotta go past Taco Bell. While you're at it, you can pass Panda Express too. Go and discover all these things that are available to you here in Las Vegas. Gary & Bon is actually a franchise chain. It came all the way from Seoul, South Korea. They have marketed this in Las Vegas, and this is something that's available to you without having to buy an airline ticket. I loved the pork belly here. It's probably one of the best that I've ever had. The softness, the tenderness was just unparalleled. But everything here was good. All of the marinated meats were good. All the wraps. Even the steamed marinated beef ribs. Those were really good too. That came in that hot pot. This place is no longer unknown. People are discovering this place. Read the reviews on Yelp.com. And here's a pro tip. Use the service button at your table because the service is predominantly Asian. Sometimes you'll have to stand up and flag down your waitress. Don't just sit there and wait because a lot of times that could lead to misunderstanding. But this place, if you haven't tried it, is one that you gotta try. This is something new and something different. So check the description below for the details. That's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next video.